Welcome back to the Global Business Report on ARISE News. So we continue the conversation about the NSARS protests, and particularly we just had Shaitan Atigari, who was live at the Lucky Toll, speaking to some very passionate youth about why they're out there, even in the rain, organized movement, or the raincoats, the umbrellas and everything, despite the heavy weather. And we're back here in the studio with Abisola Olawi, talking about the impact. We're just talking about the impacts on businesses, supplies, and so on. So what do you make of things? How are you seeing it?
Yeah, I mean, based on all the agitation out there right now, there's been a lot of direct effects on even movement across Lagos. I mean, not just Lagos, across the country. I'm sure you've also experienced it. It's just a very manic time. And that being said, it actually basically highlights what this is all about. It's not just about, like Shaitan said earlier, it's not just about a response to SARS or UNIT. This is actually more a socio-economic issue. And for us to really understand how critical this moment is, we have to basically understand the economics of what the youth employment situation is in Nigeria. It's at an all-time high,
it is.
Higher than it's ever been. And in addition to that, let's not forget that university students have not been in institutions for many months due to a 7-month ASU strike.
Correct. So
there's a lot of pent-up frustration going on right now. And of course, this is a cry beyond just a protest against, some sort of brutality. It's beyond that. There are levels to it. And of course, it's going to really take a lot to normalize, because this is a country that is recovering from a pandemic issue as well economically. So we don't even have the luxury of a government that can quickly inject a stimulus, where I would possibly want to compare it to the Hong Kong protests last year. They have those kinds of facilities. We do not have it. So what we will see right now is direct effects on businesses, economic activity, and of course, hopefully not a macroeconomic situation.
Right. So, there is a stimulus, though. The central bank does have a healthcare stimulus, stimulus for small businesses. There's the economic sustainability plan. That's about to the tune of 2.3 trillion naira. The question, though, has been, whether or not it's large enough, right? Whether or not it's large enough. Another point, though, on the matter of businesses, what we've gathered from talking to people is that a lot of them, despite the difficulties that are being seen with the movements, they don't seem to mind because of the overall cause for what is being fought for. So yes, it's tough for some of the businesses, but I don't know if you've experienced this talking to them, but the interactions that I've had, they're saying, okay, yeah, it's tough, but they're fighting for a good, for a cause that they believe in, and so. For now, it looks like they're going to just weather the storm. I know it's raining outside.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's a very strong point, because you'll have on the one hand people who would say, oh, but this is very disruptive to activity. We try to get things done. But all you need to do is step outside Lagos, the metropolis, and see the number of people that have come out in their troops to basically sort of put their fist up and say, this is what we're fighting for. It's a very crazy time, but at the same time, a lot of people are saying the time is now. The government has been making promises that have been unfulfilled for many years. Has it just been a talk shop? It's time for responses to actually happen, and for the government to put the money where the mouth is.
Okay, but that being said, it's this can't go on for too long, right? I mean, however anyone feels about which side they're on with respect to what the process of fighting for, as far as the disruption to business, as you've mentioned, recovering from a pandemic, we'll have Chika Mbonu in a moment talking about the IMF's revision of GDP growth for 2020 for Nigeria. It's still a tough time. You've mentioned youth unemployment. So the thing is, the longer this drags out, the longer the debilitating effects on the economy, businesses. So there's still hope that this can be resolved relatively quickly with government, wouldn't you say? I mean, we would want that to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. But beyond it being resolved relatively quickly, it's also about what kind of response is it? Is it the right ones? So we're dealing with what kinds of issues? It's like, are you going to address the issue so it goes away? Or are you going to address the rudiments of the actual issue? Which is, it's not just about police brutality and extortion. It's about why are these armed forces
doing that?
Why are they doing that in the first place? Are they paid well? Are they well trained?
Right.
Are they actually, are they meant to be in those positions to start with? So I understand there's going to be some sort of psychometric test and what have you that's going to go on. That's very interesting, but does that really address the cause? So beyond the conversation and the fight and the push, the government also has to sit down and say, let's attack the problem right at the cause of it. Otherwise, this is going to come back and it's going to become a ripple effect. Economically.
Economically, yes, good point. Abisola Ola, we thank you so much for taking us through that.